Hello guys, today I'll be giving you a guide into choosing your prop farm challenge in 2025. There are a couple of things I consider whenever I'm choosing a farm because again, as traders we are different. Probably we trade forex, futures, indices, crypto. So sometimes you want a very specific farm. You also want to check the comparison between the spreads, the country in which the farm is located. For example, if you're a US trader, you know there's been a limitation on the types of companies you can use. And most importantly, you want to brush through the rules very fast, compare, without having to check the specific PropFirm's website one by one. So PropFirm Match has built an amazing platform where you can find all this information at the same place. And today I'll be walking you through their new website, which is an updated version, to take you through the process on how you can navigate, compare farms, and find your next best prop farm. Always remember, before buying your challenge, you want to do your due diligence. So a prop farm is only good if the rules suit your trading style. Starting with their homepage, you can find a couple of things. Here we do have the farms, different prop farms. You can see the favorites. For example, the Fivers has about 14,000 favorites. Now the favorites doesn't mean anything that much in terms of credibility. It just means many people like the company. Of course, you would assume there's a reason why most traders prefer using that farm. We do have FTMO with about 12,000 favorites. So far here, I think the Fivers has the highest number of traders who have favorited it, closely followed by funding pips. You also want to check the assets, which is a very important criteria. The Fivers, for example, has both crypto, forex, indices, metals, and other commodities. There are farms like Breakout, which you can see under the assets, we only have the crypto. So if you're a trader who wants to focus on trading cryptos in the prop farm space, then you know this is a company you might want to check out. We also have platforms depending with what you prefer. So far, I trade using MT5 a lot. I've not adapted to platforms such as CTrader, for example, DXTrade. So if you're a trader like myself who prefers farms that have MT5, this is where you're able to check through until you find your favorite farm. Max allocation, this just shows you what is the maximum capital you can get with that company. So for the Fivers, we have 615,000. Funding pips, we have 300K. FTMO, we have 400,000. So once you hit this ceiling, it means that's the max you can trade under the company. You also want to check the years in operation. We do have 3 years, 9 years, 1, 2 years. So let's say you only want to go for companies that have existed for at least 2 to 3 years on the minimum. This is a nice place for you to compare and find those types of companies. And here you can see the country under which those specific farms are located. For example, if you're a US trader, you know that based on the limitations, you might want to focus on prop farms that are operating within your region, like E8 markets. And also just in terms of regulation, you know, some regions are better in terms of regulation, such that your prop farm has a higher chance of succeeding there without facing any legal or regulatory issues. Assuming you find your favorite farm here, you can check to see what is the available promo or the discount codes. Like for Blueberry Funded, we have a 25% off as long as you use this code. So you can even go ahead and purchase your prop farm at a discount from this website. The best thing about PropFirm Match is they offer something called loyalty points. So loyalty points simply means for every prop farm you purchase under their website using their code, apart from just getting the discount that is available like this one, another thing you also get is points which you can redeem next time you're trying to purchase another challenge. So if you buy a 5K, these are the number of points you get. And the more points you have, you can get to a point where all of them can be redeemed to get you an extra prop farm challenge. So not only do you choose a nice farm, but you can also save some cost. When you move to the challenges, you can find more details. Like here, you can see what is the payout frequency of the specific companies, what is the daily loss, maximum loss, profit target for both phase 1 and 2. And you can further filter here until you find what you're looking for. So you can see if you come under the filters, daily drawdown type, whether you want a balance-based drawdown, an equity-based drawdown, trailing drawdown, whatever it is, you can select and find a list of those companies. If you want to focus on the specific offers or the discounts, just come to this page, which exclusively is for the available offers across different farms. The Fivers, for example, has an offer which ends 31st of March. You get a 5% off when purchasing your challenge. You also get one free account, which I believe when you read further, the conditions are you get one free account once you pass the first challenge. Usually it's an account of the same size. So let's say you take a 20,000 or a 60,000 USD balance. Once you pass that 60K high stakes in the Fivers, you can get an account of the same size. So for you to find all this information at one place, I highly recommend you check out PropFirm Match. I'll have the links in the video description. We have the best sellers section, which basically just shows you the companies that have been doing the most sales. You can even filter based on weekly weekly or monthly. So in the last 1 month, apparently Breakout has been the one doing the most sales on PropFirm Match. Now this doesn't mean anything significant again in terms of credibility. It just means that many people have been buying that PropFirm for some reason. Maybe they had more discounts, or maybe they have nice conditions, whatever it is. However, you still have enough room for you to find different information about their rules, their trading conditions before you make a decision. You do have the reviews section, which is a very important as a trader who's trying to purchase a challenge. Now, unlike Trustpilot, where anyone can drop a review, in PropFirm Match they must verify that you trade with that company, and you can even filter to only find funded only reviews. This means you're going for reviews from traders who have experience and are funded by the company alone. You can filter further to go for reviews of traders who've done a payout only. So instead of just getting any random reviews out there, here you get real reviews from verified traders, and they must confirm, they must see actually your trading information, your PropFirm certificate that is verified by the company, whether it's a payout, and they have a QR code, so you definitely can't fake that by the time you're putting your review here. Based on rank, the Fiverr is top of the list with a 4.8 star rating. Number of reviews is about 700, as you can see. Funded Next has about 387 reviews, 4.5 star rating, which is not bad as well. FTMO, a very popular firm, 100 reviews, 4.7 star rating. So you can even do a comparison between the reviews here versus those of Trustpilot to just get more confidence. So if you come to Funded Next, for instance, you can click on View Reviews, and here you can see all the 387 reviews. Some of them are traders who have accounts with the company but have not yet got a payout. Some have already done a payout. Like you can see, this is a trader who's done a payout with the company. This is his review on March 23rd, just recently. And you can even go further to check their certificate for proof. So if you click, this is their certificate of, I think, passing their challenge. This is very crucial to give you first-hand information from traders with experience about those companies. We have this page with the PropFirm rules, which is a very important section, I believe. Now, instead of going to visit 10 different websites of different firms trying to compare their rules, PropFirm Match has done an easy work of putting all the rules at one place. So you come here, you find different prop firms, the Fiverr is here. Is news trading allowed? You can quickly see that on their different challenges, for instance, the hyper growth and the bootcamp, you see this is the trading condition for news, for the high stakes executing orders 2 minutes before, whatever. So you can come and read all the rules. Copy trading, is it allowed? ES, that's expert advisors, whether you have, an automated trading bot or system that you want to be executing on your behalf. All those things. So you move from one firm to the other as you compare the rules. And they're also in sections. So you can see the copy trading is there, ES, news trading, minimum trading days. It makes your work very easy. For instance, myself, I have a criteria of the things I must see in a company before I can select and trade with it. So it's very easy for me to brush through and cancel out the company that don't fall within my preferred trading style. And this is something that most traders are not very keen. You choose a prop firm just because maybe of a discount, then when you start trading, you notice some rules are not in your favor. This is the perfect place for you to do an in-depth comparison before you can settle on a certain company. Recently, they've introduced this section of the brokers where you can see the different brokers that are very common in the prop firm space. How many years have they been in business? Their Trustpilot rating, minimum deposit, etc. But most importantly, the spread section is one that you want to check out. So here's a ranking of the different firms, the most popular firms versus their spread for each pair. So for USD, you can see about the first 4 firms, all of them have about a 0 spread. On USD JPY, you can compare. Like myself, I trade USD JPY a lot. You can see the Fiverr has 0 spread on USD JPY, which is very nice for me. Funded Next, I think, a 0.4 pip spread on USD JPY, which is still nice spread. So depending with the assets that you are trading, this is a perfect place. I know most of you trade gold and you always have this question, which prop firm has the best spreads for gold? Now, these are very, very perfect platform for you to find real-time spreads, so that if you see the spreads are too big and not in your favor, you can quickly eliminate that company from your list. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope it assists you in choosing your next best prop firm. I'll just conclude by mentioning some of the firms on the watch out for. I've already shared in my recent videos, but for the sake of this video, because we're talking about selecting firms, some companies on my list, we have the 5%ers, we have Funded Next. I'm looking at FTMO definitely, which is one of the companies that has been here for the longest period of time. As time goes by on the popular prop firms, I think Funding Pips is one that I'm also having a very keen eye on, because I've seen very many traders with positive reviews doing payouts. They had a couple of challenges losses, I think, last year, but they were able to maneuver very well and did a very nice bounce back. So this is a company I might also watch out for. But again, as I've told you, you want to read the rules and make sure they suit you. So this is just my own opinion. I also saw recently they've introduced MT5. Last time I checked, they didn't have MT5, but they've introduced it recently. E8 Markets is a nice farm if it operates in your country. I think it's banned in Kenya, so I can't use it for now. But those are some of the 5 farms that I have, I think, in my list right now. As time goes by, I'm also thinking of introducing the broker-backed farms. I've been eyeing Blueberry. It doesn't look so bad. They've been in business for barely a year, but I think the fact that the broker has existed for over a decade, if I'm not wrong, gives me some confidence. But again, in order of priority, these are farms that I'll start looking at once I've maxed out the top farms that I've given you. So check out the links in the video description to visit PropFirm Match. Take your time. If you have any questions, feel free to drop in the comment section. Otherwise, I'll see you next time, guys. Peace out.